going to take where I'm from by force?
No.
So I will not tell you where I'm from.
So these are the people that these are the people that are breaking into your country, folks.
You asked me, I answered you.
What he says.
That's amazing. These are the people right here. That kind of attitude.
Let me
You
educate
could use it
you.
as a weapon. I'm not
It's
afraid. I'm so
a
afraid.
tripod to hold
I
the
need to
camera.
protect my family.
So you see, there you go. Violence. So there you go.
These are the people that are coming
You guys
in.
are the ones laughing. You didn't no
It's very
violence.
easy to find my face, by the way. If you are smart enough, you will know who I am. But you are really not smart enough to know who I am. But soon you're gonna know who I am. Very easy.
Wow. There we go.
Audrey Carroll, 30 years old, Zachary Aaron Page, 32, Dante Gaffield, 24, and Tina Lay, 41, each from the Los Angeles area. Each is charged with conspiracy and possession of an unregistered destructive device in violation of Title 26, United States Code Section 5861D. We intend to file additional charges in the coming weeks as we finish reviewing the evidence. The defendants are all radical anti-government members of the Turtle Island Liberation Front, which, according to their own social media, is an anti-capitalist, anti-government movement that calls for their associates to rise up and fight back against capitalism. One of the leaders of the organization, defendant Audrey Carroll, helped organize an even more radical faction of the group called the Order of the Black Lotus. Each of the defendants charged today was also a member of the Order of the Black Lotus. Carroll described this group to her co-conspirators as everything radical. As detailed in the federal complaint, which we will now make public, in November 2025, defendant Carroll created a detailed bombing plot to use explosive devices to attack 5 or more locations across Southern California on this upcoming New Year's Eve. Carroll and her co-defendant, Zachary Page, led the effort to obtain and build the bombs and to recruit others to join in their plot. Carroll's bomb plot was explicit. It included a step-by-step instructions to build IEDs or improvised explosive devices and listed multiple targets across Orange County and Los Angeles. Carroll also made clear her desires. She said, quote, "What we are doing will be considered a terrorist act." Carroll and Page also discussed plans for follow-up attacks after their bombings, which included plans to target ICE agents and vehicles with pipe bombs. Carroll stated that those plans would, quote, "take some of them out and scare the rest." Throughout early December, the co-conspirators discussed their plans during an in-person meeting in Los Angeles and through an encrypted messaging application. As part of the plan, the 4 defendants planned to build test bombs in the Mojave Desert. In preparation for the plan, the co-conspirators purchased multiple pieces of bomb-making materials and discussed their travel plans to the desert. Last Friday, December 12th, the defendants took a significant step to carry out their plans. They traveled to the remote campsite, which you're going to see some video of, in the desert, and they began unloading their bomb-making materials to assemble and test the bombs.
Be careful out here, y'all. The FBI just arrested 4 people. Y'all, they just stopped a New Year's Eve terror plot that was gonna happen in California. I mean, this ain't just them just saying it to somebody, the wrong person, or making some online threats. Y'all, this is really a plot that they had going on. And less than 2 weeks. Not only that, how they got caught, they was testing out the bombs in the middle of the desert.
Actually been able to film them. Here it is right here on your screen, testing these bombs out in the Mojave Desert. I understand we were just made aware at this press conference, it was after this video was taken that those arrests were made.
How is this not blowing up mainstream news? Fed said they is being identified as the extremist group.
Over the weekend, my office, along with the FBI, arrested members of a far-left, anti-government domestic terror cell who self-identify as the Turtle Island Liberation Front. The individuals were arrested on Friday, December 12th, when the group attempted to construct and detonate IEDs out in the desert. In addition to the arrests, we executed several search warrants throughout the nation.
Not only that, they was planning to coordinate IED attacks in 5 different locations. The fuck? Just think about it. This could have been a bad attack, y'all. Come on. You got families, you got people celebrating things, you about to be a big crowd, you got people drunk off balance, not on their P's and Q's. We just trying to end the year, bring in the new year right. You know what I'm saying? And they trying to take it from us. Word of advice, stay at home, y'all. I ain't going out. You see what they trying to do? And it's like, you can maintain in the hood. I ain't even scared of the hood. And I'm scared of America, bitch. I'm not doing it. I'm staying here, getting lit.
All right, so it looks like we're going to war. Last night, Al-Qaeda sent out a message basically stating that he is activating all of the sleeper cells, all right? The leader of Al-Qaeda said for every able Muslim to prepare, you know. Now, from what the CIA has stated, how this is going to play out more than likely is you're going to have activity popping off in different cities, LA, Fort Lauderdale, Miami, Dallas, like just all across the nation. You're going to have things just popping off. There's going to be so much commotion that they're not going to be able to keep up with everything. Last year, there was a guy that crossed the border. When they stopped him, he said, "You don't know who I am yet, but soon you will know." Now, the internet did its research. He was one of the main leaders from Al-Qaeda. So these are the type of people that we have here right now. Now, there's over 1,000 sleeper cells across the U.S., and things are looking pretty ugly, all right?
We have some serious news right now. For the 7th year in a row, the United States has more mass shootings than days in the year. According to statistics from the Gun Violence Archive, we've now experienced 391 mass shootings as of this post. That is more than one per day, and the year still has several weeks left. This is now the 7th year in a row that the United States has experienced more mass shootings than having days in the year. Now, when you look at 2025 in comparison to recent years, there are less mass shootings, thankfully. And there's no denying that in 2025, we saw somewhat of a drop-off, actually. But a minor drop-off does not change the fact that we've had 391 mass shootings this year, with the most recent being the mass shooting at Brown University, where 2 students were killed, 9 others injured in Providence, Rhode Island. I will continue to provide you updates as we get more information. Spread the word. Follow along, stay up to date on all the news you need to know about.
Breaking news out of Louisiana, where the FBI claims they have arrested 5 people from a pro-Palestine group in connection to a plot to set off IED, improvised explosive devices, on New Year's Eve, targeting 5 separate locations. They call this the Turtle Island Liberation Front, which they say is a extremist group motivated by pro-Palestine and anti-law enforcement and anti-government ideology. And Kash Patel says that there was outstanding work by their investigators and enforcement partners at the Justice Department. Now, I do want to give a very big disclaimer here. Kash Patel is incompetent and unqualified for his job as FBI director, so I would not take this information at face value. It may be untrue. Well, at least the accusations, the arrests are probably true. In the days since, FBI New Orleans arrested an additional 5th.
Police right now are investigating a murder in Brookline. The Norfolk County DA's office tells us that it happened here off of Gibbs Street. An MIT professor was shot and killed. Neighbors say he lived on this first-floor apartment, this corner unit here, and the suspect is still at large. Brookline police, the last time we spoke to them, tell us no one is in custody. The victim's name is Nuno Loureiro. He was just 47 years old. Neighbors tell us that he had a family living with him in this apartment, and he's been with MIT since 2016. He's originally from Portugal, and just on May 1st, he became the director of MIT's Plasma Science and Fusion Center. So we're told he oversaw a large staff. This was a very high position. Neighbors here are understandably shaken up. I want to show you what one neighbor posted on her door. And she posted this on doors all over the neighborhood, asking that her neighbors at 7 p.m. tonight light a candle in their windows facing Gibbs Street. Neighbors also tell us that last night they saw police swarming this area of town, which they say is not at all normal for Brookline. And today so far, we've seen investigators with thin paper evidence bags walking around the building. We've seen police officers going door to door. Neighbors, of course, are also frightened to learn that no one has been taken into custody. When someone is arrested, or as we learn more information on this case, we'll have it all posted on WBZ.com.
We have some breaking news coming out of NYC, where a mass shooting has been reported at a child's birthday party. 6 teenagers were shot at a Sweet 16 party in Brooklyn. This happened around 1:15 a.m. outside of an event space on Atlantic Avenue in Cypress Hills, and this happened just minutes after the party ended. The victims range in age from 15 to 17. They're all girls. One teenage girl was shot in the chest, hip, and leg, and the others were hit in their arms, legs, and foot. All 6 of them are currently listed in stable condition, but 2 gunmen are still on the loose. Now again, police say that the shooting happened outside after the event ended, and the venue says that it's cooperating with the NYPD. 4 of the victims were taken to Brookdale Hospital and 2 to Kings County. Now, just for reference, this happened less than 12 hours after the shooting at Brown University. In fact, I think it was like 8 hours, which has so far, by the way, left 2 people dead and 9 injured. Speaking of which, I do have updates coming out regarding the Brown University shooting, as well as the Bondi Beach mass shooting in Australia, both of which are horrific events, and I'll be getting those posted up here shortly. So, that being said, if you want clear, verified updates without all the noise, make sure that you hit that follow button. If you do have thoughts on this or any of the other things that we're talking about, make sure to drop those in the comments.
Right now, millions of Americans are on high alert, and rightfully so. Over the past several weeks, multiple terrorist threats have been stopped by the FBI, Homeland Security, and local police. This is extremely concerning, especially right now when the United States is in the mix between this war between Russia and Ukraine. We still have issues over in the Middle East. The United States is trying to oust Nicolas Maduro in Venezuela, and obviously there's other issues around the globe as well. But the multiple threats against the American people and in major cities across the United States, this is alarming. But look at this right here. It says, the 3rd Afghan national from the Biden-era program arrested in a week by ICE agents in Virginia. This is according to the Department of Homeland Security. This is extremely concerning when we are now finding out that there is some commonality between these people that are threatening the American people. Okay, I want to read this to you. It says, ICE arrests alleged ISIS-K supporter John Shah Safi in Virginia following 2 other terror cases. This was just reported the other day. Now, I want to read a little bit of this to you, and I'm going to do that in just a moment, but this is after things like, other attacks and other potential attacks were thwarted. Okay? Again, look at this. It says, this is another article just from the other day. It says, ICE arrests Afghan national in Virginia accused of ISIS-K support. Then we got this one. FBI arrests in Michigan stop potential Halloween terrorist attack, according to the FBI director Kash Patel. And then we got reports of this. It says University of Delaware student accused of frightening plot to attack campus police. This person was caught with so many different things. Okay, but I want to read you this one. Okay, I want to read you this one right here, because again, this is where many experts say this is what we've been concerned with. The writing has been on the wall from Homeland Security, and a lot of it goes back to our borders were open for far too long, let too many people through, and now we have a problem. We have a massive, massive problem. I want to read this to you, though. It says, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement ICE agents have arrested Afghan national John Shah Safi, an alleged ISIS-K supporter, brought into the country under former President Joe Biden's Operation Allies Welcome. Now, here's the reason why I'm bringing this to your attention. Operation Allies Welcome brought in Afghan nationals, people that were helping the United States. Okay, that when we were over there in the war, over the past 20 years, right before we got pulled out in 2021, we were, or these people were helping, and so the Biden administration thought, well, the best thing that we can do right now is to bring all those people and let them come to the United States. We brought in 76,000 Afghan nationals. Okay? But according to recent reports, our vetting process was riddled with failures. Okay? There were so many holes and so many issues with our vetting process over the years that so many of these people could be terrorists, and we don't even know it. I want to keep reading this to you. It says, the Department of Homeland Security said Wednesday that Safi arrived in the U.S. on September 8th, 2021 in Philadelphia. He applied for temporary protected status through his though his application was terminated when DHS Secretary Kristi Noem ended TPS for Afghans. It says, today, our heroic ICE officers arrested John Shah Safi, a terrorist who provided material support to ISIS-K. The Biden administration brought this terrorist into the U.S. under the disastrous Operation Allies Welcome program. This terrorist was arrested miles from our nation's capital, where our brave National Guard hero, Sam Beckstrom and Sarah Beckstrom and Andrew Wolf, were shot just days ago by another unvetted Afghan terrorist brought into the country. Says, the Biden administration created one of the worst national security crises in American history. Biden let into our country nearly 190,000 unvetted Afghan aliens, only determining who they were and their intentions when they were already on American soil. President Trump has been working every day since January 20th to clean up this unmitigated national security crisis. Yeah, it's turning into a problem. And this is not just Afghan nationals, okay? Because some of them are going to be great. Some of them are going to be great to the community, to the state, right? They're just going to be great people. The problem is we still didn't vet any of these people. Now, this article says 190,000 Afghan nationals. Other reports say it was about 76,000. So whatever it is, whether it's 76,000 or 190,000, there's still a little bit of concern here. Now, I want to show you something else, okay? When this person was arrested, okay, because of their ties to ISIS-K, obviously that's concerning, okay? The third Afghan national. Well, I want to show you this one because this was something that we learned about a week ago. It says an Afghan national from Operation Allies Welcome was arrested, charged for threatening to bomb Texas City. It was actually Fort Worth, Texas. Okay? And here's the problem. According to the FBI says the Fort Worth bomb threat suspect wanted to kill Americans. The issue that we're facing right now, and this is where I have a tough time with this, is because we're being told that things are fine, right? There's no issues. But then when you look behind the scenes, when you start to see all these, and again, some of these articles you're not finding on CNN and Fox News. You're not seeing them on the big news sites. These are on the smaller sites because some of the bigger sites, these articles are getting buried. The videos are being buried because, again, whether they want you to see it or not, don't know. But what I can tell you is that this is stuff the American people need to see because this is going to be a problem moving forward. I want to show you this. It says, Biden's messy Operation Allies Welcome program failed to monitor Afghans entering the United States. This is according to a damning report. Now, here's what's interesting. The Operation Allies Welcome program, according to all the reports, is that the Biden administration vetted every single one of these people. They screened every single one and allowed them into the country, but they don't know where they went. The vetting process was so bad, we don't even know where these people came from. Okay, some of which were fighting with the Taliban, according to reports. There was another report just the other day that said some of these people that were let in, or some of the people that were arrested, and either one or two of them that were arrested over the past couple of weeks, they were actually let out of an Afghanistan prison. Okay? So we are receiving prisoners from Afghanistan. Again, it is troubling information. Look at this right here, though. This is from Senator John Cornyn from Texas.
Do we know where a lot of these Afghan nationals are who have been in through parole? Is there an effort to know where they are?
My impression is we do not know where they are. The Biden administration simply lost track of them once they came into the country, again, without proper vetting. And it is, so we're going to have to do a massive investigation to track down where these individuals are before they commit other acts of violence or crimes, like the shooter who killed this National Guardswoman from West Virginia.
So what John Cornyn just said is that we're going to have to do some a big investigation and track down where these people are, what their intentions are, and do a proper vetting process. Here's where it becomes an issue, because right now the Trump administration has been saying, and they've been saying this for many months, is that we need to go and find the people that are a threat to the United States. And the only way we can do that is we have to go back and we need to find all the people that are here illegally, for one, but we might have to go and find those that were let into the country under certain programs or through asylum or whatever it may be, because it wasn't properly done in the first place. Once the Trump administration starts doing that and starts putting those the National Guard out there, ICE agents out there trying to pick up these people, the issue is many cities are going to push back. Okay? So based off what we're hearing from multiple experts, the likely outcome is this, and this is where it's very troubling. The most likely outcome is that the Trump administration is going to get so much pushback that they're not going to be able to do their job for these ICE agents and the National Guard troops that are supporting those ICE agents. And they won't be able to do their job until a terrorist attack occurs. And then people are going to be saying, well, why didn't you find this out earlier? Why didn't you tell us there was a terrorist living in our city? Why did nobody know this? That's the problem, according to multiple experts. So we'll see what happens, but my only advice to you is just do what you can to stay safe. Because right now, according to multiple experts, the threat levels here in the United States are very high. So, again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.